Peoria, the all-American city, my hometown. They say if you can make it work here, you can make it work anywhere. Our program is all about people, young and old, who are trying to do just that, make it work in Peoria. So I invite those of you that are tuned in to kick off your shoes and sit back and relax and allow me to take you there, because I know a place, Peoria, where talented people meet to be unique. Here we go. Here we go. Good evening, and welcome again to another Bourbon Street Live. As we wind down the year, we're going to try to show some of your, hopefully your favorite Bourbon Street Live shows or artists. Good evening, and once again, welcome to Bourbon Street Live. Of course, I'm JT Goodfoot, and I want you to thank you, Special K. That was really special. The young lady to my left is Brianna Thomas, and she's a very talented young lady, I may add. And I met Brianna a few, should I say, months ago, doing her thing at Proctor Center. Good evening, and I surely hope that those of you out there in television land are enjoying Bourbon Street on a Sunday night, and best wishes to all you graduates, your 1999 graduates. In fact, I have two in the studio this evening, and they represent a part of a group that calls themselves JVB. Good evening, and we're here at the Young Brothers 7th Annual Car Show, and I've got the gentleman that started it all with me, and we believe that if the weather holds up, we're going to get a record crowd downtown at the riverfront. And how's it going so far? Tell the people who you are.
First of all, my name is Kale Young. This is our first year on the riverfront.
I heard that.
And usually we had our car shows at Carver.
This evening is a very special show. We're going to celebrate the life of a diva, a neighborhood star. And of course, I'm talking about my friend Gail Thomas. Before we go any further, want to wish all you moms out there in television land a happy Mother's Day. And without you, there would definitely not be any of us. So happy Mother's Day and enjoy your day. Welcome to Bourbon Street Live. Of course, we're on location with Gospel Quest. And believe it or not, I'm in Morden Park. And there's a fantastic event that's going on this evening. And they were jamming. Soul Fest 2007. Of course, we call it a Bourbon Street Rewind. And we surely hope that you enjoy those two pieces, and that we reminding you again that we want a lot of folks telling the people this is your opportunity.
But it's about where people can sign and shake their hands and dancing to the music of the James Brown band. They're dancing on the good foot. I got to get on the good foot. I got to do it on the good foot. Do it with your good foot.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. You know, it's hard to believe that already it's been 3 years this week that we lost a great friend and talent promoter by the name of James Thomas. A lot of you out there know him as JT Goodfoot. His words and his actions live on through almost 20 years of Bourbon Street Live shows, something that he started in 1993. Tonight we pay tribute to JT's memory and his desire to keep the youth on the straight path by uttering his famous phrase, keep your best foot forward, is what he would always say in developing the next neighborhood stars. And speaking of neighborhood stars, JT always loved Proctor Talent Show. And this year, we are going to attempt to have another Proctor Talent Show on October. You have to sign up by October 13th. Okay, you need to contact Proctor, 673-9183. Once again, that's 673-9183. Contact them. You have to sign up by October 13th. The auditions will be held October 20th. A week later, October 20th, the auditions will be held. There is a fee, excuse me, $5 for solo acts, $10 for groups. The talent show will be November 17th. I want everybody to circle that, mark that on your calendar, November 17th at Treewind Middle School from 3 to 5. If you need more information, 673-9183. Give them a call over at Proctor Center. Now, on to the tribute to JT Goodfoot.
Mrs. King, I hope this message of love finds you and yours in the best of health in this year of the family, 1981. No man, woman, or child, not even Martin, wants to be forgotten and lost in time. But it seems, no matter how hard we try to remember those who are no longer with us, their memories slowly but surely fades as the years pass. Their memories fades to the point that the only thing we have left are names and places and names. And I guess when one thinks about it, isn't that what life is all about? Names and places, people and places, people relating with people in places. And I was thinking to myself the other day, how much easier it would be to convince people that January 15th should be a holiday. We should celebrate. Only if people could kind of get the vibes, from the places. It would be so much easier, Mrs. King, if everyday places could somehow talk with us, the people. I know that sounds like a wild fantasy, Mrs. King, but think about it just for a moment. I mean, if places could talk, what would they say about you and me and the games we the people have played? If places could talk, would you be shocked if anyone who cared could hear your secrets, your hopes, and your cares? If places could talk, whom would they blame for the discomfort, grief, oppression that people in their domains have shown? If places could talk, would you cry? Would you cry for the voices in the past? It echoes. Voices that just yesterday were heard among us, laughing, talking jive. But now they belong to the times and places in our memory of past years. If places could talk, whom would they blame for the discomfort, grief, oppression? I don't know. If places could talk, would we really listen? I know if we did, we could rediscover our roots, understand our children, define our national priorities, be aware of the conditions of our environment. Mrs. King, it might sound like a wild fantasy, but things would be so much easier. I think so many more people would understand if places, everyday places, could somehow talk with us, the people.
As a matter of fact, I was just a young kid looking for an outlet and a hobby in life, and just looking for someone to believe in me. And I believe JT and Bourbon Street and Proctor Recreational Center was some of the people that was instrumental in my career as far as performing and promoting talent shows like I was doing. So I have a lot of respect and a lot of admiration for JT and Bourbon Street, as well as the Park District, for giving me the opportunity to showcase my talent and actually be seen on Bourbon Street Live as much as I was seen, as far as a performer and a promoter.
The fact that it was local And the fact that people could actually see themselves, that made it important. You know, everyone wants to be a star, even if it's rather limited. So the show, Bourbon Street, it also showcased a lot of upcoming and musicians and older musicians that have been around a long time, see? And so it contributed in many ways to their self-awareness and pride and making them proud of who they were as artists. So, that was quite a contribution. That was a very big thing, and it still is. But JT made it special because he never missed a moment.
Well, JT and I hit it off pretty good. So, he saw me singing and he was like, man, this guy, hellified singer, brother, as JT would say. That's what he would say. And we got together and we started talking and he was like, well, how would you feel about coming on the show and doing a couple of segments? And I was like, that's fine, it's no problem. So, like I said, we hit it off and, we hung out for a while. So it was cool. Well, Bourbon Street, I can see that, it impacts it. Bourbon Street has its crowd. It has its following. You know what I mean? It's a lot of people who might see me, or me and JT would be together, and they'd be like, "Hey, JT," they know you from the show. It's a lot of people who'll come and ask me, "Do you know when the next talent show is?" And I'd be like, "No," but the only reason they asking me that is because they see me on the show. They see me and JT, recording talent shows or interviewing people or whatever. So that's what they would do. So it definitely has its following. There are loyal followers of Bourbon Street Live, and it's all due to JT.
Me and JT go way back. I mean, since I was 15, I've known JT, and he's been a guiding light as far as music, entertainment, artistry is concerned. But about 3 months ago, JT approached me and he wanted me to host Gospel Quest. And I said yeah, because I know JT and I know he's a good man, good person, and I understand his view and what he wanted to see as far as the whole wide range of music is concerned, because he loves all types of music, and gospel was one of them. So yeah, me and JT would go way back.
I guess he was kind of like a brother in the media to me. I do my show called Captions on Wednesdays, and then he did his show on the weekends, primarily as far as the kids were concerned. And as I said, he focused on trying to expose our young people in terms of developing their skills and their arts and their interest. And he met and interviewed some major national figures in the community and would tape those things and expose us here in Peoria to a lot of things that were going on outside of the community. I'm certain that he will be a tremendous loss to the kids who looked at him as a person that might expose them someday to making it in terms of the arts and the musical arts in particular.
I have to say that I personally, and in my heart and mind, am very saddened by that, because there is not another JT, and there's not a JT that's being developed right now. He was just always there at any community activity, filming that, getting it ready for Bourbon Street Live, letting people know what is actually really going on and what do people really think in this city.
The first artist we're going to show this evening is a young lady by the name of Judy Page. As most of you that have followed Judy's career know, she's a fantastic vocalist that's done quite well in the Peoria area. A little bit over a year ago, she started things out with her coming out party, and she's doing quite well now. Ladies and gentlemen, the best of Bourbon Street in the weeks to come, starting out with Peoria's one and only Judy Page.
We started with a song, but we will dedicate this show tonight to JT Goodfoot, who passed away some weeks ago. I guess you guys might know him from the show Bourbon Street Live. I had people come up to me and say, I saw you on Channel 22, and that was because of JT. He would come up and film, and so we have tonight, Mr. Eggmeyer is filming tonight. But we will miss JT. He was a good friend of all the musicians, always around, always there for us. Very good friend of Bobby King's he was too, and that's how I met JT. So we'll continue on, but this show tonight is for him. And we will, let's see if I can't stretch out these vocal cords. Let's do it. I'm loving you forever. And that's all right. That's all I need. Let me be the one you come running to.
here at the 5 Spot CAC, we had a featured occasion every Friday, and we still do that. We've been doing this a long time. But we call it Jazz at the 5 Spot. And every so often, JT would come in, hook up his camera because he was always welcome, and record the events. Special groups, a lot of the blues groups and a lot of the people that were living that are now deceased. And he had a way of coming in and recording them and keeping records, of our history. In fact, I think someone should take his work and do a documentary, because it is definitely the biggest thing that happened after Peoria's glory days in the 1960s and even before. But as a young man, I remember, when Richard Pryor and a lot of people here, Peoria was quite a city of entertainment, and it continued. And where JT came in was when my band, me and Judy Page and Gary and Steve, we came in and kept it going, and he recorded that. Well, here at the 5 Spot was one of his favorite places because of the way the place was set up, the way the entire thing was set up. So he was very instrumental in recording our history, and that I give him credit and pay tribute to him in the fact that he found it important and necessary to do that.